that long ago that XRP turned into the second maximum treasured digital asset. And once more, it really is before you had those exogenous factors that I would say had been unnatural, perhaps now not ethical within the web page, but you realize, and I assume now you are on account that alternate, and I suppose you already know with a stage-playing discipline. I nearly reflect on consideration on it, as in case you preserve a basketball below the water long sufficient, finally you let move of it and, yeah, it shoots up. But why are we amazed? Through this, somebody changed into maintaining it underwater. It's rising, so appearance, I feel, adore. It feels somewhat vindicating, I'll be honest with you. But I assume we ought to measure those over a protracted arc of time. I aspire Ripple employees, sure we're conscious that XRP has gone up in price, but we clearly do try to take a totally long-time view about what we are building and the way that contributes to an internet of value, and the way XRP may be a critical element of an internet of value. Yeah, it's like seeking to disconnect a number of the hypothesis from glaringly the use case, and in the end how to think about the cost. But my work as an analyst, we have a look at WAF price range masking shares for 20 plus years. And when you dispose of a huge barrier to inflows, what occurs is, and this demand fee is going up. And so we've been glaringly speaking, approximately, these ETFs. Simply even the Bitcoin ETFs, not to mention as people type it go down the route into other belongings. And so that is masses of billions of greenbacks in my opinion over the next few years. And then you definitely speak about demand from something like a reserve, which, in my opinion, might probably a ways surpass the call for even the ETF. So it turned into an interesting dynamic of like looking to set price on something in which you essentially had a massive restriction at the potential to buy the demand facet. And so fee discovery goes to be thrilling here for some time, I assume. That is a quite massive frickin' interview, and this something becomes stated right here actually when I'm beginning to consider it's far one of the craziest pieces of, I'm going to name it speculation makers. So, I mean, what he just did right here, each of the human beings right here on this interview, they just made an entire new wave of speculators upward push up. And I'm speculating about that speculatory manner, but you apprehend what I suggest, proper. Whoa, did they simply say some crazy stuff? One of the matters that they maybe speak to me approximately is in part as to how little we're into the manner of this, without a doubt, this crypto space honestly popping off. They in part talk about how undervalue XRP is pretty a great deal, how underbought or truly under-uncovered below offered Bitcoin is, or how beneath exposed the ones ETFs as an example are. A couple of things which might be exciting to notice. We've almost got ourselves a and sure, it's no longer true, I'm simply pronouncing nearly got ourselves guarantees that XRP ETFs are going to be coming this year. And they're additionally talking about possibly a reserve foreign money of sorts. People, that is a few, interesting stuff for XRP. Now, the alternative day I changed into absolutely looking for a crypto debit card, and I ended up locating this employer known as the depeg. So the idea is as follows. They've got a couple of distinctive playing cards that you may use. For example, the Zipic Black card. Somebody even bought a Mercedes with that crypto card. It already has 500,000 monthly customers, reputedly. But you can additionally do things like real-time payroll and move more remittances. There ought to even be no costs for foreign exchange. But the good component is, all the money that they make from it, they use to shop for lower back the token. Another couple of reasons as to why they're so interesting. Proper now, without a doubt, sit within the RWA payments, but in my view more in the deepened diminishing AI layer. They are making right now, but simply to quickly pass over it, they may be fusing Web 2 and Web 3 manifestly with their card and their capabilities, and they are now not just a small card business enterprise the way I earlier described it, they're doing plenty. They've got a boomin' B2B white label software. They have built custom cards for a lot of these memes, and Zebek's footprint has even extended into the sports activities realm, where they have become respectable sponsors of UEFA and are actually formally partners with the European Premier League. They've emerged as the go-to sports payment technology for stadiums, restaurants, and bars all over the UK and Europe. And even because it stands right now, the logo maintains to broaden its attain, forging new partnerships with soccer groups global. But as they may be already huge in these kind of sectors, they may be right now also focusing extra on their AI-based pay-fee. And here's a little review of it. And it really is, honestly, one of the main motives I slated right now as an AI coin this might make feel. You realize so in preference to like a charge coin, the way I see it, it's greater of an AI gem, as it's such a unique element. You realize to have a type of card corporation, all of a sudden scale heavily with AI functions, could be an exciting gem for this reason. Anyway, it's pretty wide what they're going to do with AI, but just to offer an idea, they may be going to try to save you more fraud, assist with regulatory compliance, and a lot more. I suppose it is thrilling that they may be changing from automobile to AI, or instead, it is simply a very good blend. Anyway, you may take a look at it out. Hyperlink could be left down below, and let's move on. Now, just fast speaking about, simply desired to quick come again to this. I said the day gone by that Michael Saylor continually posts like, "Good day, this doesn't look green sufficient," simply before he decides to announce that they've bought a ton greater Bitcoin. And just now again, they made some other declaration, they offered some other 1,000 Bitcoin for 101 million greenbacks at $94,000, consistent with Bitcoin, and carried out a Bitcoin yield of yada yada bada bada. So, it is exciting to me that right now their average charge is $62,000, in step with Bitcoin, even though they have been blasting the frickin' top. And I keep relating this returned to coins like XRP, XLM, Algorand, you name it, that in case you simply religiously, in my view, buy that pinnacle, I think you typically become being quite fine. Now, curiously enough, more and more agencies are starting to comply with suit. For instance, right here, Us.Thankx is also some other corporation seeking to follow healthy by way of simply shopping for the freaking Bitcoin pinnacle. They received 200 Bitcoin, finished a yield of 93% year so far, now keep 430 Bitcoin. Wealthy obtained it for $21 million at $98,000 in line with Bitcoin. And glaringly, right now they're up as the price is 10200 or something like that according to Bitcoin. But while we are looking at this chart, I often relate it lower back to our cash, right? Really? We are not that high, but in phrases of expenses. In my opinion, the real loopy first rate, the higher days are nonetheless but to come. We're quite early into the marketplace, and if we're speaking about publicity, these ETFs are still developing at fast